What's going on, guys? Zach here. Welcome back to another album review. Now, I'm going to here review the new album from Between the Buried and Me, AUTOMATA. Now, a lot of you know that I was not too big of a fan of the single that dropped, the first single, I believe, Condemned to the Gallows. And actually, this song actually grew on me quite a bit. I don't dislike it as much as I did before. Now, before I begin this review, I want to share my history with the band. Now, I've been a fan of Between the Buried and Me for quite a few years now. I started listening to them back in 2015, back when the Coma Ecliptic came out, due to a friend that introduced me to them. And ever since then, I've became a fan of the band. I really dug their music. And yeah, their last album came out in 2015, which is when I got into them. So now we're here in 2018, and Between the Buried and Me dropped a new album, again, entitled AUTOMATA. Now, this, I was a little worried about this album, to be honest. I was like, I don't know how I'm going to feel about this album. But this is one of those albums where, when the singles made me worried, but in the long run, it ended up being worth it. I'm really glad I decided to check this album out because, to be honest with you guys, it's really good. It's actually a good album, and there's just so much going for it, and it has variety in it. And one thing that I really love about this album is the instruments. I mean, the instruments, outstanding stuff. Now, even though I did feel like Condemned to the Gallows was a bit bland, now, it's still pretty good for what it is, and it's probably still one of my least favorite tracks on the album, but there's a lot of great ones on here. Like Millions, I think is a great track. It's very atmospheric sounding. It's one of the shorter ones on the record. House Organ is also very good, kind of atmospheric, and same deal with what's that track? Yellow Eyes? Yeah, that's another good one too. And my favorite track from this record would have to be Blot, which is a 10-minute track. I mean, this is a brilliant one. I really love the instrument works, the melodies, the things like that. It's really awesome. I mean, I felt like there was a lot of things done correctly in this album, and this album totally destroys their last album, Coma Ecliptic, because all of you know I was very disappointed with their last album, but this one, I actually really like this one. This one really made up for it. Yeah, I don't know what else to say about it. It's a good album, and I feel like this album has a mix of everything in terms of their discography. Like, I hear a little bit of Alaska, I hear a little bit of Colors, the Great Misdirect. Yeah, the scream vocals are done very well. Not really the best vocal performance by Tommy Rogers, but they're done pretty well, I must say. Some of these songs really do remind me of stuff I've heard on Colors. And some of these songs, remind me of the song Son of Nothing from Colors, which I think is awesome because I really love that track. It's one of my favorite Between the Buried and Me songs of all time, and the fact that they're making songs that sound like that really is just fantastic. Yeah, I'm going to have to give Between the Buried and Me, AUTOMATA, an 8 out of 10. Now, it does lack a few things. It kind of does lack, like, hooks, like, something to really bring you back in, because the thing I really don't like about really long songs is, sometimes, when you need something, you want to listen to something and then you need something else. You're just stuck listening to that for a while. AUTOMATA by Between the Buried and Me. Great stuff. Now, there's supposedly going to be a part 2 because this is part 1, and they're both going to be LPs. While the Parallax albums, the first one was an EP, and the second one was an LP. So, yeah, very interesting stuff. I wonder when they will release the second one. Maybe in 3 years from now? I don't know. That's a good question, though. What do you guys think of this album? I think Between the Buried and Me really did well. They did really good. So thanks for watching, and until next time.